As we've been discussing, access isn't the only obstacle women face in the sports world. Members of the U.S. women's soccer team made global headlines this year when they filed a wage discrimination complaint against U.S. soccer. The argument was simple. Their salaries are vastly unfair compared to their male counterparts. This is what has them fuming. They make less, but they generate far more revenue for the organization than the men's team. As full-frame contributor Sandra Hughes found out, economic disparity has a long history in women's professional sports, but female athletes are taking a firm stance against this ugly side of professional sports.
When Knoop first dropped into skateboarding, she knew she was hooked. It was the same for Cara-Beth Burnside. But back in the 1970s and 80s in the U.S., when males dominated the sport, girls on skateboards weren't always welcome riders.
Well, when I first started, I really liked skating, but everyone always put down me being a girl and skating because girls don't skate.
Knoop is dropping in.
Knoop and Burnside proved that wrong. They both went on to become professional skateboarders and win at the annual X Games shown on American sports television. But just because they played didn't mean they were getting paid, at least at the same level as the men.
So back then, 2005, for example, I think first place for women was $2,000 and first place for men was $50,000 at the time.
Knoop and Burnside didn't get angry. They got active and formed an alliance along with other female skateboarders to boycott the X Games in 2005. Overnight, they brought the issue of pay disparity to the world television stage. It took time to get the women's pay up to the men's, but they were simply wanting equality.
I think it was 3 or 4 years later, 2009, I believe, it was announced, equal prize purse for all X Games events.
These days, female athletes aren't always dependent on television coverage. The internet has changed the game, and now they can reach their fans in an instant.
We've been able to grow our own audience, fan base, pretty widely, just having direct access to social media, being able to put out content that way. So I feel like there's a lot of different doors that are open now that weren't, a few years ago.
Burnside was the first female athlete to be supported by Vans shoes when she was on the first U.S. Olympic snowboarding team at the 1998 Winter Olympics in Nagano, Japan. After a career as a pro snowboarder, she still came back to skateboarding, but admits it's hard to make a living.
4 decades after Title IX, the U.S. legislation aimed at leveling the playing field for girls and women in education and sports, women have made significant strides. Female athletes compete in almost every sport.
Professional women's beach volleyball star Gina Urango may take home the same as her male counterparts when she wins, but she's appalled that the U.S. women's soccer professionals don't.
I think they totally have a right to ask. I mean, you look at the money that they bring in. Being a feminist doesn't mean that women should have more rights than men. It means that we should have equal rights.
Still, Urango admits, unless you're playing in the NFL or NBA, sponsorships are what keeps an athlete afloat as they work for the top spots in their sports. But that doesn't mean little girls shouldn't keep their dreams alive.
I think that's so important for women coming up or girls coming up, is you have to do what you love and find out what you love, and it helps find your identity. And I don't know, I just really hope that as this conversation broadens, that the opportunities are even bigger for women than they already are, and that these girls coming up can really take advantage of everything that comes their way.
As girls and women spike and grind and create their own paths to success as athletes. For Full Frame, this is Sandra Hughes in San Diego, California.
That's it for this week. Join the conversation with us on social media. We are CCTV America on Twitter Facebook, and YouTube. And now you can watch Full Frame on our mobile app, available worldwide on any smartphone for free. Get the latest news, headlines, and connect to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Weibo. Search CCTV America on your app store to download today. All of our interviews can also still be found online at cctv-america.com. And let us know what you'd like us to take Full Frame next. Simply email us at fullframe@cctv-america.com. Until then, I'm Mike Walter in New York City. We'll see you next time.